Welcome to Shri and Kira Live, the voice of passionate action, bringing fresh perspectives and timeless wisdom for today's shifting paradigm. Now, it is your moment to open your mind, relax into your body and spirit as we explore the greater meaning of your now experience. Bringing wisdom, laughter, and clarity, here are Shri and Kira. Namaste and welcome, beloved ones. Welcome to Shri and Kira Live. I am wisdom teacher Shri Ramka.
And I am Master Lady Kira Ra, and welcome to this beautiful moment. Welcome to a whole new world. Welcome to May. Welcome to the gift of you. Just bring your hands to your heart. And if this is the first time you've ever joined our show, wow, did you pick a great moment? If you've been with us for the past, 18, almost 19 years we've been on the air, we're so glad you're here, because this is a moment that we have all really done our best to say yes to, and we are so excited to share. And you know, Shri, I see you're going right over there to the text, just checking in with Jess. And so remember that if you're catching us live, which is at noon Eastern time every Sunday, make a note of that. You want to be here live when you can. But if you're catching us live right now, Jess is over there in the chat at YouTube. And if you have questions for Shri and I during this broadcast, it is our joy and honor to receive them, to respond to them, and also the comments. Oh my gosh, goodness gracious, you guys are amazing. Always, this community is the gift. And so, Shri, this is such a special moment. This is such a gift of awakened presence, such a gift of the May experience, the up level. I think we should begin, let's just come together in a deep base of breath. Would you guide us? You guys want to do that? You want to join us? Let's open that way today. Let's do it. All right.
So as we come together as community, we begin by relaxing our body. It's wonderful to bring a hand to your heart, because that sends a signal to your soul that I am here. Breathing into this precious vessel that you call your body. We bring our attention to the divine on the inhale, Ave, and we release all resistance on the exhale, Sa. Let's do that 3 times together to really harmonize. Here we go. Big breath in on Ave. Sa. Ave. Sa. Ave. Sa.
That feels so amazing. And you know, guys, I want to invite you right now, as you're bringing your hands to your heart, as you're experiencing the blessing of you, as Shri and I are here really floating in that sea of neutrality, as we all are. Remember, go watch last week's show if you're not sure why we're saying that. I want you to feel the energy of May. And in this moment, you may even want to close your eyes as I share this. But during April, we discussed how come May 1, we all woke up today in a brand new world. And you've already shifted. You're already here. It's already anchored. It's already done. And so what is so profound is that May 2022, using that ancient system of the Magi, the ascended numerology, the sacred sequences of incarnation, May 2022 is a double prime. Now, I want you to really take that in, because May 2022, when we look at this specific May in 2022, is an 11. However, May itself, in that blessing of all that is being chosen, we are in a choice experience energy right now, is a 5, that eternal life. So this double prime energy, right? This double prime energy as the mirror of truth. The mirror of truth. I want you to feel that at that throat chakra, okay? We're at a moment where May 1 has arisen in the eternal nature of all that is as the mirror of truth. Breathe in what that's really doing to the planet, because it is a profound amplifier of the entire momentum of 2022, literally amplifying everything. So why does this mean we've arrived into this brand new world? Well, first of all, because it was that experience of February, March, and April that I'm going to kind of push my chair aside. I'm going to hold on to Shree's chair so I can push. Okay. So what this is, this that you're looking at, our background, this is that eye of awakened consciousness. This is the energy of 2022. Remember that 2022 came in with an energy experience that's unlike anything we've ever done before. And right above me, right here, full moon. It's all about the full moons. So when that first, and I've really been calling it like that, boom, right? Like that gong, right? When that first gong hit that really big bell, so to speak, that beautiful, I always think of it as this beautiful bell up on a mountain somewhere in Nepal or India up in the Himalayas. But when that first bell struck in January, it came forward with the energy of, can humanity survive dogma? And Sri, I think this is important to talk about right now because this May momentum, this double prime that has us surfing this open eye is a moment of choice. Our awareness, right? Our awareness begets our experience, begets our choice,
Yep.
is the ever refining cycle. Once we are aware of what we are aware of, which brings us into our ascended presence. So in May, as we have just entered this brand new world, the consciousness that you are surfing on the sea of neutrality with in this experience of this pyramid that's still seeking to find its foundation. Remember, it was built upside down, so to speak. So it's still seeking to find its foundation, and that's not going to happen until September 2022. So Shri, consciousness, what's going to sustain us? And I'm going to just kind of sit here, guys, and hold this eye open as Shri's talking about consciousness, because that's what this is. This is the Shiva Linga, right? This is that eternal presence of the consciousness of that which I am as you are.
And this magnificent May, this May of the double prime energy, that energy that really came in with the seeding of the planet, this is an opportunity to be in full reflection of your mastery.
The mirror, right? This is important to remember. It's that mirror, which means fifth chakra mirror consciousness is going everywhere this month, guys. I mean, it's everywhere. You cannot escape it. It's in your face.
So as we reflect our mastery, we then enter the sea of neutrality in the capacity to be in divine flow without the need to think about it or control it. Now let's consider what is more commonly experienced, and that is the energy of uncertainty that comes with new times, new eras, new energies, new events. It does boil down to one simple decision. Are you going to live with full alignment of your mastery? Are you going to be in your authenticity, or are you going to align with the energy of the personality that is the egoic shell that has been groomed and conditioned and is doing the best it knows how? However, the key difference here is by aligning your consciousness with your mastery, you are connected to the trust of the universe. By aligning your consciousness with your ego, you are connected to the stability that comes through belief systems.
Now, breathe that in. The stability that comes through belief systems.
Yes. The ego seeks to map reality based upon software, really a program. So it says, okay, if this is true, then that is not true, etc. Right. So belief systems are the way we all learn how to navigate life at the very early years. And for many of us, we just keep going with that because we know how to do that. So beliefs are really subtle unless they're hurtful, and then they're more apparent. But I want to talk about the subtle ones because, as Kira said, can humanity survive dogma?
And we're in a whole new world right now. A lot more to share about May.
Dogma are those beliefs that you consider unshakable, that you can say, oh no, these are not to be questioned.
So just breathe that in. I want to take this really slow because this is really important to understand. that when the consciousness that has brought you to this show, when the consciousness that has piqued your curiosity or invited you to expand beyond that which you have been at before, whatever it is, remember that we are all, and I keep making this pyramid because this is where it is. This pyramid is literally right here. We are all surfing this. And I want to, Shri, how can I see what I have available to share? Right there, is that where it is? Okay,
Yeah.
so let's show them the May calendar right here. Let's just jump
Sure.
right to it. So here is the month that we are in right now. And I want you to look at today. We are in a masculine release. Notice that this month is mirrors of masculine and feminine energies, each one coming in as this, I think of it as a pillared temple formed of these balanced masculine feminine energies in these pairs of harmonic frequencies that are sustaining the sea of neutrality. Notice they're all floating on that sea of neutrality. These energies have risen up and are saying, we are here to support you. Because as it says at the very top, and remember, if you have your own calendar, just you've got this, go check it out for May. With the Merkaba fully illuminated, we're here. It's a brand new world. The ignition of the Taurus is co-created from a pure center. It is the recognition of the co-creation through the pure center. So the energies of peace, Shanti, love, bhakti, joy, Ananda, arising. And they are arising to assist and stabilize the ascended presence. Now, I'm stopping right there because it is the energy of peace. When Shri and I first came together, I will never forget, it was so fabulous. Archangel Zadkiel, when Archangel Zadkiel first started giving us the blessing of all these revelations of the Yoga of Self-Ascension, Archangel Zadkiel was always so clear that without peace, there cannot be love. That is the mistake, that we often try to use love to find peace. This is why so many go into their heart and say, oh, but I have such a good heart and I love it. I love. Why do bad things happen to me? Why am I constantly in a spiral? Or you look at others and say, oh, but they're such a good person. Why do they have all these other issues? Because they are out of balance. And so this open eye of empowered awareness called forward the ascended presence that has brought us to this moment of May, where peace is absolutely the gift. So I want to share with you where Shri and I, every time we offer you these revelations, and because of Sedona Journal, because we are so blessed that the Sedona Journal publishes these. So if you ever want to see these in full-blown text, go to the Sedona Journal or go to our website where we post these every month in our articles section. And so because of that, I'm on the magazine publishes 2 months in advance. So I try not to do these too far in advance because honestly, those who are close to me know it takes me about 5 days by the time I'm done pulling them through, between looking at those in this potentiality, rolling into the potentialities and the sequences and how to put these forward, because they're so accurate due to the fact that they're very specific to this potentiality. So in this potentiality right now, Shri and I, for many of you, know that we have been very, very blessed to be working, to be bringing the Egyptian healing rods to the world now for since the day we got together. Actually, they came in before we got married. We had our first set of Egyptian healing rods while we were still living in Colorado. This is pre-moving to New Mexico. And because of that, we have been very blessed. And Shri, as you all know, his work with the pyramids and pyramid energy over the years, and all of the incredible things that we have been blessed to work with. And what is so fabulous to understand right now is that with the way that the balance of the sea of neutrality has come forward on the planet, and with what is happening on the planet right now, the pyramid that we use to energize the Egyptian healing rods and all of our other pyramids and items is actually located in St. Petersburg, Russia. And there is right now an imbalance because there was another pyramid that had been in Moscow that actually was destroyed by a tornado, which is kind of interesting, recently destroyed. So it's left an imbalance. And so one of the very deep visions that Shri and I have had for many years, especially Shri, as you know, we have built many, many pyramids. Here at TOSA, we already have two. We already have two built already, two very beautiful pyramids that are built, everything always at high aspect ratio. The frequency of the equator right now and the energy of unification, and I'm going to talk about specific dates in May, are calling forward a moment in this mirrored truth of May where the peace can be very easily disturbed, because when we stand and look into a mirror, we either embrace and love what we see or we turn from it. And so the mirrors are all being placed in front of each other right now. This is the moment of living that life of I'm so glad I did versus I wish I would have. So in that trust of the universe, in that expansion, in the blessing of having lived with the indigenous for 12 years now, continuously, Shri, I think you should share what we're getting ready to share, because we want to show you a little film. It's about a 2-minute film. You're going to freak out, love it, hopefully. I know we all freaked out and it's like beyond our wildest dreams. But what we know is that we must build another pyramid, a giant pyramid, here at the center of the world. Number one, to raise the energy of peace, to balance the pyramid that is now standing alone at Lake Seliger in St. Petersburg, to bring a rainbow harmony of this higher frequency to the planet so that anyone in the world can come and enjoy and experience this. And to be able to, we now know that all of malas for ascension, everything in Egyptian healing rods, everything that we're doing must be energized in this pyramid in the frequency of ascension, of peace, the peace that is outside of disruption by anything of this illusion. So this is our active moment in May, and we have a lot more to talk about in May, but we want to start right here because we're inviting you to hold the prayer, because we must break ground May 15. This must be on the planet by September 1 because of what's happening right now. So let's breathe in this law of instantaneous manifestation.
So before I show you this little video clip, the architect's rendering of every design's done and it's fabulous, I want to give you just a little bit of conceptual understanding. A pyramid, if you take note of all of the most potent temples around the world, let alone Egypt and the pyramids of the Maya and the roofs of the temples in Japan, that energy is well known to create a high frequency restoration. Now, what actually happens is it harmonizes with the energy of your soul. That energy, especially at the higher frequencies, is not corrupted by the coarse emotions and the activities of density. So consider for a moment, there's lots of wonderful things you can do when you're well steeped in, quote, the norm, the mass consciousness of density. There's lots of little journeys you can have that lift and lower your frequency. However, a high aspect ratio pyramid, and here's a little mini one we use to help neutral.
We need to just show them the video, Shri.
All right, but here's the piece I want you to get. So this pyramid, as in all properly built pyramids, has a mirror image that goes into the earth. Wow, it disappeared.
So remember that.
And so by building this at the equator, we are offering that stabilization and restoration to Gaia herself.
So taking a breath, and remember, this is being built with 100% natural materials, utilizing the feminine and the masculine in the energy of the May. It must go up in the middle of May for the balance of the planet.
And thank you, because the masculine is represented by using bamboo, grows in the sun, the long stalks. That's the structure of the pyramid. And the feminine is represented by using earth.
Baharike.
Baharike. It's kind of a modified adobe to put on the walls.
It's actually going to be that amazing. So here,
okay, I
got to
drag this forward here.
We just want to share with you that this is really an important moment for humanity, and we're actually humbled to have shared that. It kind of takes my breath away. I know Sri and I talked 20 years ago. We would have never dreamed that we were shepherding all of this sacred land here and in Mexico and in Guatemala, but much less to be asked by the masters to be custodians of literally constructing this pyramid. This pyramid is breaking ground May 15th in the law of instantaneous manifestation. And so it brings me to two other things, guys, immediately that we need to remember. And number one, Shri, let's put up that up level calendar again.
Sure.
Why does this pyramid need to go up in May? Let's look at that May calendar again, because look at May 15. Do you understand why we have to break ground on May 15? It is a lunar eclipse. In the energy of a full beauty moon, it is the first full beauty moon that is coming in to restore the safety of humanity. Notice it is at the root chakra. For all beings in form, it will be a moment of reassurance. And so for those that are carrying ascended presence, it will jettison your ascended heart. It will send you into new ways of being and knowing and choices and seeing and alignments and all these extraordinary things. And this is why this pyramid must break ground on May 15. We've already got the ceremony planned for when that will happen. And so, if your heart is calling to be a part of this project, let us know, because we are really looking for collaborators to make this one really happen on time, because it must. And the other thing that has to happen is, if you look at the Saturdays in May, you will notice that May 14, look at Saturday, May 14th. Saturday, May 14th is the rebirth of unified creation. It is that second, third, and fourth chakra of the balanced masculine feminine, with the feminine coming in with the nourishment of eternal presence. And this is why on May 14, we are so grateful in the energy of that Mercury retrograde, which, remember, this is that Mercury retrograde that's saying, woohoo, yeah, baby, waited long enough, let's go, right? Ready, set, retrograde, right? Let's go. It's going to rock our world. I know it's going to rock mine. And so on May 14, I want you to just bring your hands to your heart, because something magical is going to happen. And this is really important for the world. And Shri and I, we just do the work. Whoever decides to listen, that's what we know as the universe is helping us all decide to be together. But here's what you guys already know, is that ascended numerology of the ancient magi is absolutely accurate. Those of you that have been around, if you've seen the 7 polarities chart, you know that. So we're not going to sit out here and sing our song. We're just going to say, here you go. Here's a system that in this potentiality has really assisted humanity to expand through consciousness before. Okay. So in this May month right now, we are in the ascension energy of choice, and choice months are always huge, because it means everything saying, okay, here's what you asked for, go. And so go is a time of joyful terror. Go is always a time of joyful terror, is it not? Because go is that moment where, as Shri was talking about earlier, we need to go beyond all of our dogmas. And it was fascinating. There was a question. I want to bring this question up because
Sure.
it's really relevant to this moment and what we're all talking about right now. And it was, aren't we all in a dogma? I mean, I believe I'm divine and eternal, and I believe we're all love. I believe we're all source and one. So it's not about believing; it's about knowing. That's the difference. Can I say one more thing before you jump in, Tree?
Yeah.
I really do, because it's
Yeah.
really important, because
Please.
this is what brings us to this moment. The moment of May right now, and as I share this, I want to put the calendar back up again. The moment of May is about the knowing. Look at May 11. Look at Wednesday, May 11. On Wednesday, May 11, there is this huge golden ball of creation. Notice it's the largest right then. It's going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's like that's a pillar this month. 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 17, 18, 19, 24, 25, 26, 31, 1, and 2, bridging into the awareness, okay? But in that pillar, right now, the consciousness of your choice will stabilize your ascended presence. And I'm just going to let Shri continue because honestly, I have too much more to share. It would interrupt him for too
That's
long.
okay.
But no, we'll come back to it later. So please continue.
Well,
Because
I
it's
think
just important to remember, guys, that you're being asked to stabilize. Humanity's being asked to stabilize. We're floating on an ocean right now without any life raft.
it's important to recognize that the evolution of consciousness goes through predictable steps.
There you go.
And we begin very much in a, oh my goodness, it's me, a little baby is chewing on his fingers and toes. And we move through all of the emotional growth that happens in the first 20 years of our life. We begin to stabilize into young adulthood, etc. But consider your pathway. As we grow and evolve, we become more reliant on the truth and less reliant on the emotional whimsy of a moment. And this is what we're leading up to with the release of dogma. One of the final zones of attainment is to be able to live a principle-based life, to be able to say, love is more powerful than fear, and even though I am afraid, I will contribute.
And I want to jump in here because let's dialogue this because
Yeah.
even as you're sharing that step then leads you to the step of the transcendent freedom of I am here
There it is.
as the sea of neutrality, thereby sustaining the transcendent energy of non-judgment that relaxes all definitions and receives through the emergent state of the vision that which is creating in every moment. That is the full embodiment of the law of instantaneous manifestation. And this is why May 14
Yes.
matters so much. On May 14, I think, do we have a slide, Shri, to show them? Would you show them that slide? On May 14, and the reason this matters so much is, you see down there, Cesar, Maina? I want to take a moment. Those of you that were with us at the March ignition, the March equinox, you already know that Shri and I have been doing the work for over 36 months. I have been holding, talking, giving virtually my life force to bringing together the unification of the tribes. It's as if there has been like a push, like I got a big kick from all the masters and went, go, this has to happen. And I'll tell you guys, it is not easy. It is not easy to bring people together outside of greed. It is extraordinary, the resistance to the law of instantaneous manifestation, because when you ignite the law of instantaneous manifestation, you instantaneously become the living, active presence of ascended abundance. Noticing, you see the open hands, when you give with an open hand, your flow is eternal. Cesar Maina is the son of Umbotsman. For those of you who may not remember, Umbotsman is the leader of the Itza Maya, the builders of Chichen Itza, very profound, the tunnel builders, the secret keepers, the wisdom masters of the Merida Peninsula of the Yucatan. And through miracles, as you all know, Shri and I and Cesar are blessed to be the custodians of this 1,800 acres of land that has been covered in greed, confusion, projection, and as Shri and I recently found out was also projected toward us, conscious interruption projected toward us because of the message that's coming out. And here's what you need to know. That message isn't going to stay hidden forever, no matter what. The truth will prevail. And in May, that truth is getting out there. And for the first time ever, Cesar will appear with Chief Phil and Shri and I to come forward. He is claiming his lineage. And Shri and I have spent the past year loving Cesar and his extraordinary wife, Fanny, and nourishing this land and getting it ready. And on May 14, when we all come together, the Ascended Abundance Series experience moves into a depth of attunement. This is why my arms are still covered.
Yeah.
A depth of attunement that will ignite for those that are ready. And to remember that the suggested donation is just that, a suggestion. It's already really low, but remember that Shri, myself, Chief Phil, and Cesar Maina, we are all donating all that we are, number one, to stand up as the first 4 tribal leaders holding hands together saying, together we are better.
Yep.
And in September, they will both be here live. In June, in Merida, we will be consecrating on June 20, June 21, and June 22, moving from Chichen Itza to Mayapan to Merida. This is part of what's happening in the stabilization. So here we are, as Shri was mentioning, okay? This is 2022. This entire thing is about, can humanity survive dogma? Because it's about humanity surviving it. We created the dogma from within that which has fear. But we have arrived at that moment of transcendence of all fear through the recognition of that which I am as you are, which thereby lays down all ego and the brain that must continually question and justify. Look beyond the questioning for the questioning.
Right.
Oh no, if that's this, then that means that's that. Let it go. What if every conspiracy out there is true? Who cares? It's irrelevant to the voice of consciousness. To the voice of consciousness, it's extraordinary as a piece of a kaleidoscope. To the transcendent in form, I am here as the sea of neutrality, which is the journey of 2022. It is the opportunity to fully command the mastery presence of that which I am into a body of form in a way that we have not been able to do before, carrying a consciousness that we actually imploded ourselves in Sularia before we ever wound up here. And so it's that moment of letting go of the myths and simply having fun with what is.
Right.
Saying yes to the collective energy, bowing before those that have chosen to remain in this potentiality in their experience of consciousness so that you can be. Thereby, when you remember, you are ready. You know, it was Krishnamurti who said it so beautifully. It is only when we remember, when we truly arise, when we awaken, that we become responsible. Which is why forgive them, they know not what they do becomes such a gift of, yes, of course. Of course, it's not about seeking judgment. It's not about seeking justice. It's about the recognition of the conscious experience that is calling to thyself. Taking a breath, and you should write this one down. What in me invited this to be? What if the only commandment you needed was that? And it was applicable everywhere. What in me invited this to be? What in me invited this to be? What in me invited this to be? To just, it's that simple, yet it's that responsible.
Yep.
Because it's outside of all victim consciousness. And in June, in Mexico, those of us that are gathering outside of all victim consciousness, where we will, for the first time, gather. And we will, not only will we be showering the planet with live transmissions, you want these dates on your calendar, but on the 22nd, when we are in Merida together, it will be the first time that Cesar will perform ceremony as the leader of the Itza Maya. And together we are saying we are here in our crystalline presence, and we are anchoring that pyramid that right now is coming from this April moon and trying to sustain us all. Because if we can anchor June, it's in direct alignment with what happened in March. It gives us a life raft, so to speak, and it means humanity will make it to September when we anchor.
Yes.
Really important, guys.
Oh, very important.
Right? So you got to register for May 14 and you got to register for Mexico. Now, Mexico, as of right now, I think this morning I heard we had 3 spaces left. So, hey, stop thinking. Get there. You know you're supposed to be there, and it's not expensive. It's really affordable. We're in fabulous 4-star accommodation, all the ceremonies. I mean, just be there with us. 3 spaces left. Are you one of them? I'm really excited. And if you're not going to be there live, you put June 20, 21, and 22 on your calendar right now, and we'll get you all the links.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot happening.
So a lot of wonderful information shared,
Yes,
and I want to underscore a couple of pieces because
please.
it's really important that we recognize that each of us is in a dynamic intersection between our heart, our soul, our emotions, and our thoughts, and all of those constitute the personality, the person that you think you are.
Mm,
It's important to recognize that the mind and the concepts of the mind are indeed a step up, a beautiful step forward from reactive flight or fight kind of existence, which is
yeah.
the basal lower brain. So it's important to say yes, having principles, inclusiveness, etc., is very important. However, it then becomes the limit. You know, that level of attainment becomes the veil and the limitation. And this is a subtle one. I'm going to put up a slide here in a second. But I wanted to give you the understanding that the mind's job is to
Mm,
navigate density.
yes.
It's to help you build a better house, a better widget, a nicer car, whatever, to navigate density. That's as far as the mind can go. When it comes to your mystical connection to the divine, when it comes to your full selfness, the
Mm,
self-ascension, it is your soul that leads the way. It is the open heart making space for the master within
yeah.
to take the reins. Now that means something's got to let go of the reins
Right?
because no matter how beautifully you've trained your ego, it will still hold you back when it comes to the full surrender.
Yeah.
And therein is one of the keys that Kira Ra is so beautifully gifting to the planet May 14th. The law of instantaneous manifestation is your ability to align with it is a direct reflection of the trust that you hold in your divine mastery and your ability to relax the grip on control and allow spirit to direct. And so breathe that in for a moment, because that's a magnificent step. That's when we move out of subject, object, cause and effect. I better do something to get something, right?
Mm.
And that's the whole law of attraction level.
Well, and can I share, Sri? I don't mean to interrupt, but I want to invite as you're sharing here. Remember that on May 14th, we're going to dive into the anomaly of a free will, the anomaly of a free mind,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to really feel that the anomaly of a free mind, because in order to sincerely be as I am, the law of instantaneous manifestation in form, with conscious awareness of all potentialities and the highest service through the sea of neutrality of the one now. That's the moment that the mirror is offering you. As I am, as Sri is in his full mirrored presence now, that is the invitation, May 14.
Yes.
And to know that your donation, you know, this past month, your donations took a beautiful woman and her son who
Mm-hmm.
have no other relatives. They have nothing in the world except each other. And he's barely a teenager. I think he just turned 13. And their house had collapsed. I don't know if you saw the movie, you know, but your donations, now they have hope. They have a home. He's back in school. They're not living in a cardboard experience. They have real running water and a bathroom.
Yeah.
You know, we have a beautiful grandmother and her young granddaughter that you're supporting with a home. We opened another clinic. Everything we do to sincerely do one thing, and that is to support the foundation. So we invite you, you know, yes, there's a minimal cost. It's very affordable, but you know, if your heart wants to offer more, please do, because it
Yeah.
is a donation. And if you want a tax receipt, you just have to ask.
It's important to recognize that when people are afraid, their world collapses, their
Yep.
vision truncates, and their
Yep.
capacity to serve is limited because of
Hands
that
close,
agitation of the fear.
right?
So as we look at even Abraham Maslow years ago said there's a hierarchy of needs. And when we
Right.
move out of
Right.
fear, when we have a roof over our head, when we have security and stability, we begin to access the heart. We begin to become contributors to society. And I want to show you the intersection of the Pyramid of Spiritual Awakening with the levels of consciousness brought through by David Hawkins, because there's one
Yeah.
area here that is important to kind of take a peek at.
And as you're taking a peek, remember on the left side where it says Ascension Consciousness, that is the Yoga of Self-Ascension as it is applied with this chart that was first produced by David Hawkins. And in Shri's upcoming new book, which will happen, yes, go Shri, boy, are you going to love where he goes with this.
So the piece that I want to talk about right now is, if you look at the qualities on the right side, oh yeah, that's very human. I see it all. Okay. But as we come up into the 400 level of consciousness, now we're in understanding and,
Exactly.
and principles, and all of the highest statesmen, and even Albert Einstein was vibrating at 499. And what happened?
I love him.
What happens at 500? At 500, the energies of love, gratitude, and joy become an everyday experience, and that we're in what we refer to as ascension awareness. Your consciousness is in the witnessing of the witnesser. You are in a place where life is happening without you having to take credit for it.
Oh, I love that.
You know,
I
when
love
we're at the lower or the beginning stages, we tend to think, oh, well, I did this and I did that and I created this, and there's a cause and an effect. In reality, as we lift into that ascension awareness and we anchor in love, we recognize that what is meant to be will be.
Yeah.
And thereby we start to really reside in that law of instantaneous manifestation. So what's coming up, beloved ones, on May 14th, that Saturday workshop, that sharing, is an opportunity.
Actually, it's a journey.
It is a journey.
It's
It is an activation. There's
Yes.
information, there's energy, so that you can claim and remember yourself as that master, and thereby the ascended abundance occurs naturally.
Yes.
One last thing, all of those levels, you know, it seemed like it was a hierarchy, but it's not. Everything there is attainable.
Exactly.
There's nothing that you have to effort for other than to keep your eyes on the divine and the focus that you say, yes, I choose to be fully awake. I choose to be in service too. I choose to relax my need to control and allow spirit to work through this vessel, this life, this brain, and everything that exists.
And to remember, it's a month of choice. Now, we have from Carrie Ann Shri. If you would read this, and this is why I'm standing up, Carrie Ann, because we're gonna respond by also offering everybody a practice.
Okay.
So right there, would you read what Carrie Ann said?
Okay, Carrie Ann says, I agree, Kira. We are in a new age, the 21st century. So it makes sense that we will feel drawn to experiencing the world anew, instead of adhering to the, quote, old age beliefs, the prior beliefs, if no longer for our highest good now.
So, Carrie, everyone, you're really reflecting what's happening right now in May. Let us not forget, we opened up with the fact that May is a double prime month, right? It's a double prime. And because of that, that mirror of divine harmony is just, it's insane. And so everything's going to be mirroring, and all the harmonies are going to be mirroring. So that means whatever it is your emanation. Whatever energy you are carrying, not the words you say, right? Remember, it is that which I am that emanates. So whatever that emanation is, the mirrors are coming in. And so every single one of us right now is being invited to say, okay, what paradigms am I choosing? And to remember, it's a choice. It is a choice month. So in the month of choice, and in a month where it's all about that double prime, the 11 and the 5, and in the ancient Magi system of ascended numerology, we know that the 1 and the 1 is what? It is always going to be the 1. It is about the complete unification of the I am mastery presence with this body of form. and thereby being able to live alchemical transformation with every breath and every moment. And I know those of you that know Shri and I know this is real because you've watched us do it right in front of you over the past several years. And we are continuing to amp that up because we are all at that moment of up level. So in May, and if you're catching us live, rock on. And if you're not, when you catch up with us, make sure you grab and learn this. This is the living ankh practice. So I wanted to model it for you because it's really important that you understand the movements of the arms, because this is what often gets misunderstood. It's also at our website. It's free, shriandkira.com. Just go there. And when you're there, make sure you join us May 14. Make sure you are there. You want to be there for the very first time to be with Cesar and Maina. Of course, you're going to get all the videos if you can't be there live. Chief Phil will be there again. Shri and I will be offering the really deep experience of the anomaly of a free mind and the experience of how to uplift through that. And to also remember that in this moment right now, you are inviting a higher state of consciousness to anchor. And that is going to freak out the body of form, because the body of form has this self-induced program in it that's going to do everything it can to stop you. And it will, at some point, it will eventually wind up at the brain. And that's when you arrive where Shri and I call, basically the borderlands of sanity. So here we all are, right? This is the energy of 2022. So here is this beautiful energy of 2022 under all of these full moons. We are all right now that pyramid. So we're all right now like this. We are that pyramid. Only we don't have a foundation right now. It's literally we're being sustained by our high heart. So it's only through staying in the higher consciousness of our experience of that which I am that we're able to stabilize until we get to June. And so this is why in May, 2 Saturdays in May, the lines in May, the way it's working, you want to balance in that mirrored energy through the living ankh. So the living ankh is the 5-pointed ankh. And again, it's at our website. And the way you want to first do this is you want to have your feet basically even with your shoulders flat. And Shri and I really feel outside, right on the beach.
It's great to be barefoot.
Barefoot outside. You want to be comfortable though. So you really want to kind of, get into your feet. There they are. Okay. Relax your arms a little bit. And then with the living ankh, it's all about igniting your eternal nature. So we're going to begin. Let's bring our hands right up to prayer position. And then what we're going to do is just close our eyes, take in a deep Ave Sa breath, and I'm going to have you relax your arms again. For those of you that know this, at that point, you can close your eyes. For those of you that don't, just watch what I'm going to do, okay? But I will talk you through it. Deep Ave Sa breath in, smile on the exhale, Sa. And really anchoring into our feet, flat. We feel this beautiful energy, this beautiful crystalline light tickling right there at the center of our left foot, right there in the center of the left foot. You're going to feel this tickling of this crystalline light, and just let it stay right there. Don't let it go any further. Just let it tickle your left foot, right? You're going to feel, for some of you might want to feel like you just want to, your foot's tickling. And now on the right, you want to bring that in with gold. And so underneath your left foot, you have this beautiful spiraling crystalline light. Under your right foot, you have this beautiful golden light. And now what you're going to do is very gently with your breath, you want to use an Ave Sa breath. And on the Ave, just bring both of those to your knees. And on the Sa, just feel them illuminating. There we are. So just feeling that beautiful crystalline golden light just right there at our knees. We're going to do another Ave Sa breath, and we're going to bring them up, and we're going to just have them unify at the base of our spine. So let's breathe up from the knees. There we go. There it is. Woo, on the Sa. So we have that beautiful crystalline golden light, and just kind of feel your feet and your legs. And if you can't stand, you can be laying down flat with your toes pointed toward heaven, doing this as well. You just want those feet flat. And so here we are. We're right there at the base of the spine. Now, you're going to start spiraling that energy. So it's just at the base of the spine right now, that root chakra. You want to feel that gold and that crystalline energy just kind of spiraling. And then we're going to do one deep Ave Sa breath, and you're going to pull it from here all the way up and out through the top of your head or the crown. There we go. Let's take in that Ave. And on the Sa, just feel it like a shower. And you're very aware now that you're suspended by this beautiful light coming up through your legs, meeting at the spine, spiraling up, flowing out, and showering and shimmering around you. And you're now lifting your arms up, and you're going to want to lift them up so that they're equal to your shoulders. And you're going to want to, you see how far back I'm bending my hands? You want to bend your hands back. I always say like a beautiful Balinese dancer, right? You really, what we're doing is we're opening up these chakras, right? We're opening up those chakras. So we're going to open, 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 open. And as we're doing that, you're feeling your heart open, open, open. Let the head drop back, open, open, open. And as your head drops back, extend more out, out, out. And feel this beautiful ray of emerald light entering your heart, radiating out through those open hands. Taking in a deep breath, Ave. Bringing the arms around to the heart center. Relaxing the heads. Relaxing the arms. And just receiving the gift of restoration and eternal life. This is the living ankh, right? Points 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. You are eternal life. And this is the month to remember that.
Yes.
So thanks for asking, because this is what it's about. It's about receiving the gift of that which I am outside of a mind. There it is. There's the graphic. Thank you, Sri. Beautiful.
And so you'll notice that it also references sriandkira.com, and you can find the full practice described there. The key is, as you practice the practice, you will find this pure cosmic energy entering up your legs and out your crown and the connection with your heart, and you will
Yes.
be cleansed, so to
Ooh.
speak, of density frequencies.
I love that, meaning that you will have the blessing of living in that peace frequency. And Sri, I want to tease you guys. I want to show you the Ascended Numerology for May. We've got some fabulous things from you guys we want to share as well. I am going to be talking a lot more about this next week, but just take a moment, guys, relax your eyes. And I'm sure it's already got you. Look at the wheel. Notice the bounce from the 5 to the 6 to the infinite to the 11 to the infinite. Right now, in this moment, we are all sitting in the infinite. We're in the sea of incredible creation, navigating the sea of potentiality, and we don't land again until Mercury retrograde begins at a reset moment.
Yeah.
You've got to love that the Mercury retrograde is literally the 12 o'clock. Humanity has been at 11:59:59 for a while, guys, and that Mercury retrograde is bong, go. And so huge, huge shows every week this month, huge energy. Next week, we're going to be diving a lot into what you just saw there as well. You want to remember that this is your choice.
Yes.
And it's all about the mirror of divine harmony. Everything's in front of you now.
I want to underscore again, we got some 12 energy coming
Woo!
in here. And this
as a retrograde reset.
Yes. We are being invited to anchor in our mastery, not in our separation.
Oh.
The ego is always separate from. It always is comparing me to thee. It's full of comparison, full of judgment, even nice soft ones.
Right, right.
And so therein will be the threshold that most people don't get past without sincerity, love, and presence. Because when we have a sincere heart, when we are at peace with our divine nature and we radiate love, the presence of our mastery is amplified. It comes forward and the miracles start to happen. Things just line up. And this is a state of grace.
Yes.
And that state of grace is your birthright. Are you ready? Join us May 14th.
Oh, peace. And hold, please pray for us all.
Yes.
That here at Toasted Blue Mountain, we are so honored to be anchoring this pyramid of peace on behalf of the world, to be building the world's only 72-foot tall, 22-meter tall, fully balanced yin-yang divine, feminine, empowered, beautiful, masculine pyramid with the charging area at the exact proportions of the King's Chamber to reactivate a harmonic frequency of peace as part of the Sea of Neutrality. In the middle of this month, on May 15th, when that lunar eclipse begins coming in, humanity will be offered another choice.
Yeah.
Our choice is peace. And it's the peace that does not come from proselytizing. It's the peace that comes from just living the work that we share with you every day. Because when you live with that state of peace, you anchor your ascended heart, thereby you live as the expression of creation for the benefit of all. It's really that easy. Ha ha.
Peace is a natural state of being.
It is.
And that state of being, as it emanates its wave of energy out into the world, it informs the world, which begins to conform to a harmony,
Exactly.
a new harmony.
Exactly.
We can't wait for the world to teach us peace. We are peace, and the world will adjust.
I love that. All right, Shri, let's share. We've got some great sharings here. All right, Gary. Hey, Gary.
Hey, Gary. Gary writes, absolutely awesome.
Oh,
thank you. And thank you.
sweetheart.
And he says, thanks for everything you're doing for us and humanity in its entirety, whether they are aware of it or not. I totally love you always.
As we totally love you always, Gary. Thank you for the blessing of you.
And I want to just, Gary, you're reminding me, what we do and what we are is simply enough.
Always.
We do it because
Right.
it's the right
thing to
do,
do.
not
I mean, it's
because
just-
there's a consequence.
You know how easy that is? Like, it makes our lives so much easier, but boy, does it make people around us crazy.
Yes. Okay, Patricia shares, each day is a unique experience of flow, trust,
Yes.
love, and surrender.
Yes.
For each one of us is perfect as we walk each day in our own way.
I love it. And you know, Patricia, I want to invite you to try something on. I've been sharing this with Free too. One of the gifts of surrender is it's actually a lesson in relaxation. As I surrender, I relax all need. As I surrender, I relax all illusion. As I surrender, I relax. And then we discover we're no longer surrendering. We're just relaxing into that which I am as you are. So thank you for bringing that up. I always enjoy that. All right, one more. Do we have time for one more or not?
Well, sure.
Okay, we have one more right here. How about we've got from Ava. Hi, sweetheart.
Ava reminds us, trifold flame of the heart, divine father, divine mother, and self.
Yes.
Gold, pink, and blue flames intertwine, the council of love for more elevation of the heart energy at this time.
And that also came in from Linda, and we agree that the pyramid will indeed do that for all. It is rising that energy. And so, beloved angels, as we move into this moment of May, this is a great month of choice.
Yeah.
And this month is really about that double prime energy. And the double primaries is a strong energy. You're going to want to get to ShriandKira.com and read this information. It'll be at our articles page. Go to Sedona Journal if you have a subscription. It's in print. You know, this is important. It is a moment for you to know that I am here. And in the energy of the 5, I am ready. And when I gaze in the mirror, I love it all, because that is the gift of true I am. Namaste, Shivoham. We love you so much. And we are honored for those that we will be joining with you in person in Mexico. We are honored for those of you that are with us Igniting Humanity May 14th. And of course, to all of you in this community that are here with us every Sunday and at Monday Magic, thank you.
Thank you.
You matter.
We
Just remember
love
to
you.
love yourself a little more.
Namaste.
Thank you for joining us at Shri and Kira Live. To have your questions answered, send us an email to guest@shriandkiraradio.com and check out more information at shriandkira.com. See you next week. Namaste.